Time to have a little fun here. I got two on the couch, one on the stool. It's my turn to act the fool. We're not watching the Atlanta Late Night Show. We have a very interesting group of people here from many walks of life. We have an educator. Don't get fired today.
No, right, that's the goal.
Don't get fired today. We have Sam. He's a journalist. He's an educator. You're a principal?
Assistant. Yeah,
Assistant principal?
Wow.
Just claim the full title.
We'll walk into it then. I appreciate it.
Lie on your resume.
Lie on the resume.
Lie on your LinkedIn.
That might be the key in this time we in right now.
Yeah, just lie on it.
Ain't lies, just a little exaggeration. That's all. Put a little extra on it.
Next to the man that's teaching America's youth, we have someone that's polluting America's youth.
Oh my God.
Hopefully not.
Oh man.
He's a comedian. He's an on-stage performer. That's how long you been active in comedy?
Man, about a year and some change, man.
Year and some change. Oh, we forgot to clap it up for Sam. Let's clap it up for Sam. Clap it up for Sam. Yeah.
Wear glasses.
That's stupid. So you said how many years?
About a year and some change.
You always wear shades indoors?
Nah, man, I just thought I looked cool.
Okay.
You know what? All right.
No, you good. No, you cool. No, I was gonna work with that. I was gonna work with it. I'm just being petty. I'm a real petty individual.
Lord.
Let's see where we going with this.
Okay, already.
Everybody give it up for Rod.
Funny brother.
And on the stool with the James Brown jacket.
Watch
yourself.
She's
I need a bitch to come in and take it off for me.
There we go.
Put it back on.
It's in the budget. We can make it work.
All right.
Give it some time.
Next time.
She's a singer. She's a writer. She's a rapper. You're an esthetician?
I am a cosmetologist by trade, but I do lashes.
And you do lashes.
Yes.
How long? Is lash game like the cold game?
It is definitely. I feel like I be dealing it.
It's a cartel out here. Hey, it's a cartel out here. Like
I might have to, be the boss if it's a cartel now. But
We don't have to get into some lash beef when y'all beefing over territory.
Nah, we don't do that. Well, I don't do that. It happens, but I don't do that. I don't roll like that.
Okay, everybody give it for Alex. All right, sorry. So what I like to normally do to break the ice a little bit, I like to play a little game I call What's Worse. So what I like to do is introduce two situations that are aggravating, and then we'll decide what's worse.
Okay.
These are for the quick hitters.
I know, right?
All right. What's worse, looking dumb or looking weak?
Is it an order of any kind?
Which one's worse?
Give me the options again.
Looking dumb or looking weak?
I tell you the honest truth. I don't want to look dumb. Weak. I'm not really too bothered about looking dumb. I'm not a fan of that one.
Okay. What say you, Sam?
you gonna look dumb at some point in life. I can live with that. Looking weak might set you up for some other things. So I can look dumb once every now and then as the
Yeah.
You heard it here first. He get his lick back. What say you, Alex?
I ain't gonna lie. I would rather look dumb than look weak too. Cause
smart woman and a cartel leader, so she
yeah, and when looking dumb, it's like, oh my gosh. But no, looking dumb, I feel like it's worse because if you don't know something, that's okay. Because somebody can teach you.
Okay.
But like if you just like a weak person, like if you a weak bitch, you just got weak traits, like you was probably raised like that, like it's probably ingrained in you.
How many boyfriends have you beat up?
I'm not gonna speak.
I know, right?
I don't fight niggas, but I've been known to fuck some shit up.
That is enough being said right there.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm uncomfortable now. Like,
All right.
You'll be okay.
What's worse, having an old paid off car or having a new car note? Which one's worse?
That's a really hard question.
I know, that's why I do the research.
See, I gotta break that down because like I don't mind driving an old beater long as she's mine.
Right.
Okay.
For it. But that new car note, that's another way of looking dumb. Like you out here buying a car you shouldn't have. Now you paying a note.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's why I'm like, I'd rather have that old beater that's paid for.
I gotta go with him on that one. I feel you. My old whip Amanda, she was loyal.
Amanda?
That's how I feel.
clap it up for Amanda. Yeah.
But she was loyal. You know, while she was with me, I had to put her to rest some years back, but she was loyal. I appreciate her.
It sounds like a dog now.
Oh gosh.
He took her in the backyard and shot her right in the transmission.
She was loyal like one. You know what I'm saying?
That's how you used to do it in old country. Now we take them to vets because we're modern society.
Yeah, you can't do that no more.
I'm gonna send you a scene of Old Yeller.
Yeah, I mean, my family have done that before. I definitely came home and then was like, "Where the dog?" They like in the backyard, and I'm like, "Where?" The dog buried.
Oh damn!
Caucasian, we cremated my dog. Like what?
Yeah.
Y'all had a ritual? I mean, ritual. Not a ritual. That definitely came out wrong. A funeral. You had a funeral.
Shades on.
Just give me the shade eye.
Freudian slip over there. This is the ritual.
Oh, that's funny.
He was really like a member of our family. So
How long y'all had the dog?
15 years.
Oh yeah. Okay.
15 years. So
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like we got like I'm from California. We got him in California. So like we brought him over here. He passed away in 2020. We got him cremated in like.
What part of Cali are you from?
SoCal.
Okay. Do you ask? You frequently naturally ask, where you from, nigga?
Hey, where you from? Nigga, I'm dead. I don't bang, but definitely I've been banged on like the nigga be like, where you from? Be like, I don't bang, bro. That's why I put my glasses on. I wear glasses.
Smart guy.
Okay.
Brother, wear glasses. They ain't banging on that.
All right, let me direct some questions at Sam. So you went to the Muhammad School of Atlanta, right?
Wow, yeah, I did.
So what was different having a smaller class size versus a larger class size?
You're seen. Being seen is something. A lot of what you see in schools is people invisible. Stuff happens to kids all the time. Kids do great things. Nobody sees it. When you're there, somebody does see it, for better or for worse. So, you know, that has its advantages. You know, I know when y'all heard that, y'all was automatically thinking bean pies and soups, but I promise you it wasn't like that.
Now, what's interesting about you going to normally when you first started, you guys were still a part of the NOI, right?
Yeah, so
And it transferred to
so
the
let
Muslim.
me put that quantifier on.
Okay,
there.
go.
I'm Christian. I know that's a whole nother story. But yeah, they
we gonna get
broke
to
off. I knew the comedy was coming. But yeah, no, they started with the NOI and then they went into what you would say Orthodox Islam now. So some of the militant energy, but you know, more professional corporate stuff now.
Did you feel the separation from the NOI?
I couldn't really tell at the time. At the time, I just was like, this ain't far from where I walk from home. So I didn't really even know all those politics and stuff. But as I got older, I was like, oh, this was at play. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, at 11, 12, you just like, man, I just go to school with kids who wear uniforms. I don't really know nothing beyond that. You know what I'm saying?
So you mentioned the militant aspect of how they, run things, and a lot of times school systems are run based on military systems. Why? But also military, school, prison, all kind of seem to run the same. Now, a lot of times people give religious situations a lot of flack for how much they harbor on
religious.
discipline. Now, can you speak to some of the advantages, how it helps you?
I mean, I'm a proud square. You know, like you just said, I got my glasses on. I'm wearing my wedding ring. I'm a proud square. So,
Too much.
I'm on the sidewalk. I'm on the sidewalk enjoying it. But no, it's advantages to discipline. You can't really accomplish anything. You know, you're an artist, you're a comedian. Y'all know you have to have discipline to do anything. So that's a part of it.
So you remain a Christian. You never converted.
Yeah, no, I'm still Christian.
So also, I did see in an article you said the school that you ended up going to, it put strain on your dad's marriage.
Yeah, so
How so?
what it was, man, my dad's from the projects. He was like, private school, what is this? Like, fam, you go to the school down the street, you be all right, you thug it out. And my mom was kind of like, man, they gonna take your shoes every day. He gonna have to bang the set. He gonna have to bang the set, one of them. So it was one of those things where growing up in East Atlanta, she was like, well, you're gonna have to join a gang or something to really get by. So she was like, I want him to go there. My dad, like, I ain't really trying to make that accommodation for him to go there. I don't want to pay nothing. I teach in a public school. Why would I pay? So it was a bit of an argument about to pay, go down the street. So that's what it came down to.
When a lot of times we don't understand situations till we get older and look back at it, and I got a lot of that in reading that article. So as an adult, looking back at your parents and the decisions that they made, what do you see differently as a kid? Because as a kid, you probably were like, why do I have to go to school? where I want to go, where my friends are.
Exactly.
So, how do you change your mind now? Like, how do you see it differently?
It was the best decision. I think you got to know your child. That's what I think it comes down to. Some children can be in whatever situation and flourish. Some children, it takes them longer to be able to adapt to whatever situation they're in. And you just got to know how your kid is. I wasn't really cut for certain type of situation at the time. I can be real enough to admit that. So as I got older, I learned to adjust and get that edge. But as a kid, I was the kid that played with my Yu-Gi-Oh cards and played video games and flag. What's that? What's this red flag you're dealing with? I didn't know what that stuff was. So they knew who I was. So I appreciate them for kind of knowing their child and putting me in a situation to win. But
so your career path has followed journalism and then teaching America's youth.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Why?
Bro, I really wanted to be a lawyer. I really got tricked. You know what I'm saying? My dad was a teacher. He was like, try it out. Try it out. Try it out. So I was like, all right. And I said I would try it out, see how it is. And it just kind of came to me naturally. And I just kind of rolled with it. You know what I'm saying?
What do you get as an educator?
I really believe like the kid, like it's gonna sound corny, but they like the last hope. Like we slick done. We slick cannot be told anything. A kid, you tell them that the sky is blue, they'll be like, dang, it might be blue. You tell an adult the sky blue, they like, I just saw a YouTube video. It could be red, it could be yellow. Like, dog. But the research said, but it's 2 sides of research. It's fake news. Like, dog. So I believe you can kind of work with them. They just don't have no guidance. Ain't no OGs no more. Ain't nobody, like, even at Squares, you had OGs that be like, keep going to school, my boy. Like, yes, sir. Yeah. You need that still. You need that.
So, Rod, what's in your internet history? You got a lot of conspiracy theory videos?
Man, let me see.
I said Rod.
Oh, go ahead.
How did you get on me?
On hot seat time.
What was the question though?
You watch a lot of conspiracy videos?
Truth be told, man, not really. Like I have, my own thoughts about things, but as far as conspiracy theories, nah, man. Like, of course, the golden era of when everybody was like, "Oh, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Illuminati."
Oh like, man, that
those
golden
era. But I'm like, nah. See, one time, bro, I went down that rabbit hole and like my computer shut off when I was in like middle school. And I was like, "Yep, that's enough. I don't want to talk about it no more." That's why I'm like,
I saw what I need to see.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say.
And that's it.
Wow.
Nathaniel.
That was a good time back then.
I'm talking about everything with the Sierra and everything that was going on. That's why I was like, hey.
So what do you do? What do you find as far as like pop culture when it comes to like doing research for your stage material?
What's funny, bro? I think the important thing to do is kind of just look at what you're already going through. I think just being honest. I think you could speak to that as a teacher. You could speak to that as a musician or creative. Like, I think when you're speaking from an honest place, you find people relate to things.
Definitely.
Sometimes it's like, I look at pop culture, but also it's kind of like, man, everybody's talked about that. Like, there's certain subjects that are just overrun. So it's like, let me talk about what's real to me. And then I find people, tend to gravitate towards that. But I find that interesting because I'm actually new to stand-up. So it's just been interesting finding out how all of this works.
Been booed off stage yet?
Not off stage.
I like how you said that.
I've had times where, I wrote out a joke that I was like, man, I know this gonna kill it. Get up there and I look at the audience and it'd just be a bunch of old white folks be like, God damn. Like, this was specifically a nigga joke and it's just, it ain't gonna
work here.
Wrong audience.
It's not my audience.
Yeah, or it'd be like a raunchy type joke and then I'll say it and everybody be like, nah. And I'd be like, okay. So that's like the worst thing to have. Like, I haven't been booed, but I have had where it's just definitely quiet. It's just like, that went in.
That's a sad feeling. So speaking of being on stage, have you had your Beyonce Destiny's Child moment?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh.
You the singer.
I was like, what? As far as being in the group?
Yeah, like, the video I'm talking about when like it kind of resurfaces on the internet every so often, like when Michelle was she fell in the middle of a performance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, I need a little bit more context. No, none of us have failed.
Okay.
We have not fallen and can't get up. But one time, this is really embarrassing, but I always do this because sometimes I have like really, really bad anxiety. And performing in front of big crowds, it will give you anxiety.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm like overthinking too much, I fuck up. And it's one I remember we was performing in Columbus in like a fucking stadium, like too many people to count type of situation.
Okay.
We was opening up for like Monica.
Okay.
This was my first time being in front of a crowd like that. And it was a part on the dance, and I was dancing, and the next thing I know, I just stopped moving, and I'm just looking at everybody, and then I looked to my right, and my group-mate Kobe, and then Dre looked at me, and they was just like, bitch, keep going, and then I just got back into it. But it was just kind of, I guess, like a surreal moment, like when you're on stage, it's a feeling that you really can't describe. Like I understand why people retire from the music industry and then they like die from crack and stuff.
Wow.
Because they're chasing a feeling that like I
That
can't.
high that you get
Like I could only talk to like you've been on a stage in front of people. Like I could only talk to people that have been on a stage in front of people. Like you doing your live show. You understand what I'm saying? Like that euphoric feeling. It's very just like I want it all the time. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So that made me get better at performing because I want to be able to do it more. But no, ain't none of us fail. If anybody gonna fall, it would be me. My other two group mates is solid as hell.
How long does it take you guys to put together a set for like with choreography?
Well, we were groomed by, well, let me not say groomed. That's a bad word in the music industry. We were developed, we were developed by a great choreographer and creative director named Jamaica Craft. So we don't do regular shows. Like and we're going to start back doing shows soon, but our shows are like, you would think like a music director programmed our shows. And we've always been independent. But what we put into shows, in a perfect world, we would be on some Beyonce shit. Like it's give me 3-4 months. Yeah. We putting the show together. We gonna give you a 30-minute set. You called us right now. If I called them and told them to pull up, we could perform right now. Yeah. Like that's how we are. So we've been able to set up our shows and our sets to where whatever is asked for, we could do it. If you want just a 10-minute set, we can give you that. If you want a 30-minute with some background dancers, we can give you that. It really just depends on the need.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what you just described, it means a lot of time, effort, discipline, even when you don't want to do it.
Yes.
Pretty much every one of your crafts and everywhere direction you guys are going, it needs a lot of discipline. Can you speak to how you guys developed your discipline? We'll start with Sam.
So with me in writing, I'll just be honest, it was one of those things where I first started like 2019 writing, and it wasn't really getting the traction I wanted. I reached out to someone in music that wrote, that's kind of had a reputation, and I was like, I need you to make me better at doing this. And they said, that's what you want, do it. And so started putting out pieces, getting them cut up all the time, being told that this ain't hard enough, this isn't arguing your point. And that just kind of made me put more thought towards it. And then now it's become a thing where if I'm not putting something out every month, I'm like, I'm really tripping. So for the last 2 years, I've just been putting pieces out every month, putting 3 or 4 pieces out. Just it becomes like a habit.
Stay in the gym.
Just you have to keep shooting. It's,
keep shooting.
Really pure Mamba mentality type of thing in all of what y'all are doing. Y'all do that with dancing. You have to keep dancing. You have to keep practicing your choreography.
You better just sweat it out.
You have to do your jokes. The jokes sometimes land, they don't. Like Chris and them do, they go out there, they practice it. Scratch that joke out. So it's it's the same thing, I think.
What about you, Rob?
So I played college football, and so like for me, I take that same mindset to everything that I do. I'm understanding that you have to be brave enough to suck at something new. You have to, if you want to be great at anything, you just have to be, bold enough to try something new and be okay with like it not working, kind of like you were saying. And I love how like I started writing scripts. Some things you just get better with the more you do it. I saw this visual that had a picture of 2 bullseyes, like 2 targets. One had a bunch of misses on it, and like one was close to the bullseye, and the other one, had nothing on it. And it was the theme of that was basically saying like, in order to get better, in order to figure out where you're going, you have to try. You have to do something. So I think that's what's kind of helped me just learn as I'm stepping into stand up now. That's what's really helping me out.
Alex?
What was the question?
Your discipline. How'd you develop it?
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Hey, you sounded smooth.
I definitely get my discipline and my drive from my mom. Just like how I was raised, it really wasn't like a question. Like, you said you want to do it, okay, you're going to do it. And you're going to do it until at least the season is over, or until the time is over, and then you could quit, but you're going to see it through. So I just feel like being raised like that, it really helped me in being in the music industry. And then for me to have started making music when I was so young, I think that helped too. Because when I told my mom, like, this is what I want to do, she was like, okay, like what your person told you, like, oh, this is what you want to do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you about to be at chorus camp, you about to be playing instruments, and you can learn how to read music. Like, it was just a lot of stuff that she instilled in me while I was young that I've carried. But staying disciplined is very hard, especially once you incorporate adulting and being creative, because you still have to work, you still have to get money. And so that kind of will take away from your creativity.
Absolutely.
So finding balance, I think, is probably the best way to stay disciplined.
What about media training? You had media training?
I've definitely had media training.
Explain. I've never talked to an artist that actually broke down media training. How does media training work for you?
Trade secret time. Go ahead.
Right.
I mean, well, I'll be honest. I went through media training when I was a teenager.
How they teach you to deal with me?
So it's basically like, you are taught that journalists and people that do interviews are going to ask you hard and uncomfortable questions. In a setting like this, it might not be much like that, but I could see you. But I could see you having like a radio show, like on the radio. And when you go to radio interviews, they ask you hard questions. They'll dig into your life. They'll be like, oh, so I heard you did this. I heard you said that. Oh, da 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 da. And you kind of have to know how to like take a deep breath and just be like, okay, because at the end of the day, this person is doing their job. A lot of artists, I think, that don't go through media training, they don't really understand that this is a part of like your path. Yeah. And if you can handle a hard conversation and walk away from it and be able to like hold your composure. And I mean, sometimes you got to turn up on people because people will get disrespectful. So don't get it twisted. Like, as much as I was taught, I would cuss your ass out because I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, you got to be authentic to who you are. But
I like her.
That's that cartel.
That's cartel.
But
Snowball is on it.
But too, you gotta just know how to stay calm. And you also gotta know how to play with people. Like, if you ask me some stupid shit, I might ask you some stupid shit back. Like, if we playing dumb, then we playing dumb. Exactly.
So let's switch it to the journalists. What makes a bad interview? What makes a bad interview? Like,
what makes a bad interview?
Yeah, for you,
from my perspective. Yeah. Just the standard answers. If I say, what was life like? Man, crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's crazy.
It was just a lot of challenges and circumstances. Like what? The usual thing. Oh my God. Like, boy, sis, come on, dig deep. It's just really the standard answers. When you got these piercing questions, you taking time, and people just kind of just
one-worded.
Surface level dig because
they not ready to.
They're afraid. They're afraid. But it's like,
have you pissed somebody off in the interview yet?
Can I recall pissing somebody off in the interview? I'm sure I have. Can I recall when I pissed somebody off? Yeah, y'all will never hear those video clips, but those will stay in the drive. But
what did you do wrong? If you did anything wrong?
I think it's one of them things where certain questions about things that are tied into people's past, like there are people that people don't know about that play roles in people's history. Sometimes you ask them about conflicts they may have had with artists or artists that people really love. And that's when you get people say, people love this person, but I really did all this and that. I feel you. I didn't know any of that. That's why I'm asking you. Like, I get y'all got a beef. I'm just asking you about the beef. Like, I didn't do the beef.
What makes a bad interviewer?
I don't like when people ask me stale ass questions. I don't. And I like when people don't excuse me, I do not like when people do not do their research. You know what I'm saying? Like if people just be asking, questions that you probably could know. And once again, in a situation like this, it ain't that serious. But I'll be watching interviews with people and they'll be like, it's famous people. Like, you don't know this person's birthday. Like everybody know this person's birthday. Why are you asking them their sign? Like, that's not a good way to approach an artist, in my opinion, or really anybody. Like Obama, or it's like you could just do a certain level of research, so at least you know how to approach the conversation.
Gotcha. Have you guys ever had beef with has it ever your chosen path? Has it ever interfered with your relationships? Laughing petty.
I'm gonna let y'all jump in that den on that one first. Let y'all vet that out.
I mean, definitely, but
I'm in the studio with these niggas. One of those.
Exactly.
I've definitely dealt with that before. Even with me being
You had the angry boyfriend in the corner.
not
You
even
ready to be in the studio.
yeah, but no, because I'm not doing that. You're not coming to the studio. You about to pay for the session, nigga? What you doing? Why you here?
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I'm sorry. I'm not playing them games. What y'all said? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's real.
It's a fuck no for me. You pulling up where to do what? You must own the place. Anyway, what was the question?
You got to tilt your ass to the side.
Okay, yeah. I've been told that I live life like a stripper. I've been told that before, and I was like, "What do you mean by that?" I was younger when they told me that, so I would. I love strippers, but the way that this guy said it had a negative connotation around it. He was just like, "Well, you be out all night, you be at the studio, and then during the day you got to work or you got to sleep all day." It was like I think he was more upset that I wasn't at his beck and call, that I was busy. Yeah.
Chasing.
And it's worse now. So I just realized I have to deal with a certain caliber of man. Like, I got to deal with a man that got so much going on, he ain't even worried about where I was at. And don't even act like you care, baby. Hey, how you doing?
Don't act like you care?
Nah.
Damn.
You ain't even got to do that.
Really is not playing no game.
Really? For real.
I mean,
She said when she said,
I feel
don't
you.
act like it, because there's some people that'll pretend. It's like, don't even
yeah.
play like it's kind of like you could just say like, don't waste my time.
Yeah. Because people do that, men and women. It's not just a man thing, it's a human thing. People definitely will cap you down. And it's like, but do you really care? You was probably doing your own thing. Exactly.
It ain't, yeah.
I want to have a little fun. Problematic questions.
Oh, Lord.
Problematic questions.
I know, right?
Y'all are real chill.
So, you've been married how long?
I got married let me say I had the wedding in November. I've been married since last summer.
Okay.
Clap it up for Black Love.
Almost a year or so then. That's dope.
He got a white wife.
Man, don't do that.
No, play.
No, I do not.
I'm playing.
Nubian Queen.
Oh my gosh.
Let me put the kufi on for this. Nubian Queen. Let me stop.
I was about to say, wait, are you serious? No?
Nah, but it's all good.
No,
You do it.
I just want to mess with you.
Okay.
He was like, hey, salute, my G.
It's 2023. Look.
Salute, my G.
So, you guys that are not married, what are your expectations on the first date?
I don't have expectations. I have standards.
Thank you for that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking to a writer for real.
Yeah.
Everything is
Hubby, yeah.
Very true statement. I think, like you said, I don't even think it's just a woman. It's it's a human, thing. 'Cause I say the same thing. I don't have expectations. I literally just have certain standards for myself. There's certain things that I'm going for. There's certain things I'm not going for. And
Get some flags.
Red flags.
Yeah.
I don't like when people nails be dirty. Yeah, man, y'all need to make sure.
I've been working.
Y'all zoom in on that.
You was working before you got here. But I don't know, I'm just very observant when it comes down to it. Like if a guy walk up on me, you know what I'm saying? I'm just paying attention to how he carry himself, not necessarily what he got going on, what he drive. That's not the first impression. The first impression is just how you carry yourself. You know what I'm saying? Then we'll work around all that other stuff. But I'm definitely spoiled, so I definitely, have the standard of how you coming? Like, if you come at me, like, if we meet in a gas station, then I'm leaving, you leaving at the same time, and you don't automatically go open the door, it's like, probably not gonna text you back. Because you already are not.
Subtle. Yeah, but it's
but it'll tell, because some men do and some men don't.
Okay.
Some men will open the door for an old white person. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just about dating.
This question. So I've had guys get almost verbally assaulted by women because they'll do a gesture that's old and traditional, like open up their door, and the woman would be upset about that. But you're raised in the South, so you basically you consider yourself an old traditional woman?
I can't say that I'm a traditional woman. I'm definitely a modern woman.
Okay.
Cause
but something like the chivalrous move.
But I'm definitely I like gentlemen. So yeah. I think that a lot of times when women have that mindset, they might be a little unhealed, like in a feminine energy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But because I'm Southern, I do have some expectations in life for, people to act a certain type of way. Like, when you walk down the street, like, hey, how you doing? You walking in the room? Hey, how you doing? Like, we ain't wake up together. I ain't see you this morning. Like, hey, what's up? So I definitely, yeah. But I don't want to say I think it's weird. It's just for a lack of better words. But, like, if I had a homegirl and she was like, oh, I don't want my man opening my door for me, I'd be like, girl, why not? Like, let's talk about it. Let's unpack that. What happened in your life where, so what's going on? Do you want to talk about it? Not yet? Okay. I would be concerned. Because I think as women, we should be more receiving. We should be more open to just allowing the universe and the world and men and people at work and people that walk down the street. You just got to allow yourself to just experience those things. Because one day, shit gonna get hard. I seen it. So you got to start now. You got to start early. If I have a daughter one day, I'm talking about like 1 year old in the mirror. I am beautiful. I am. Like, you just gotta feel it. You gotta believe it. Cause the older that you get, like, it hard.
Yeah.
And that's why women don't be wanting their doors open.
Sam, your wife. Why is she your wife? Why is she your wife?
Ooh, for a lot of reasons. So I say it like this. I definitely don't tell women to date in potential. I would never tell you to do that. I don't think she dated in potential, but she saw what I was becoming and decided that she wanted to hitch her wagon to it. I didn't even say invest, but she's like, I see where you could be. I see you're moving towards that. It's a sign of good faith. I'm gonna match your investment and I'm gonna meet you there. So she saw where I was going and she saw what I was trying to do, and she thought, how could I partner and match the energy? Okay, I see you got the artistic side. I'm on the business end of it. I'm going to tell you how you need to move. I see you about to make a move to better your life. It might inconvenience me, but I'm going to roll with you on it and help make that lighter. On the other end, though, I need you to invest in what I got going on. So she matched the energy I had. She saw where I was going, and, she's been supportive even when it's situation that ain't always benefited her. So.
Now, you have a unique work situation right now, which is a kind of a long distance situation.
Yeah.
Can you explain that a little bit?
So the situation is like this. I took a job about 4 years ago. Oh, my bad. Took a job about 4 years ago working in like middle, almost South Georgia. And I took the job to get out of the classroom and kind of elevate my position. So it required me moving from Atlanta and moving down south. So for the last 4 years, I've been down there and I commute like every other weekend back home. Some weekends she'll come back. And so it's been that way for, like I said, the last 4 years. Of course, we just got married. So, of course, people is like, married people need to be in the same crib. I'm like, 100%, I get that. But I'm also like, I'm going to be real. Since the pandemic, I felt like I've been married. We've had a lot of issues since then as far as nursing each other back to health, dealing with all type of life situations. We been married for like 3 years, in my opinion. So we've had those type of challenges. We've met each other in the middle. Nothing's perfect, but that's basically it.
What did you do differently in the dating stage with your wife that you didn't do in your other relationships to make this one work?
That's a good question. The honesty was the big thing. After bumping my head, you said lie. I didn't lie. I just wasn't as
told Diane
honest.
truth.
Tell the truth.
That's it.
I told diet truth.
You could say die half truths. Nah, but with her, I was just like, this is
Niggas.
exactly what I'm on. I mean, I got over it. We evolved, you know what I'm saying? Like, we here now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, y'all tell half truths. We ain't gonna go
No,
there.
we do not.
I really do like what you have on. Yes, it's really becoming.
Put my
Girl,
cards
that
on the
ain't it.
table, Chief.
That's how that's really what it was. I was just like, this is what I'm on, this is what I'm doing. You can rock with it or not. She was like, that's very honest. I was like, what I got to lose at that point?
What made you switch that?
To what I got to lose?
No, the telling the truth. Well, I guess so.
Oh, being
so
that forthright? I mean, man, it's gonna sound corny, square talk, but you start seeing what lies do to the women you date, and somebody's gonna date her
Can we
after.
stop that for a second? I don't like that. Like, it has to be corny because we really need to like really
Normalize that,
You know
right?
what I'm saying? She was talking about unhealed. I'm like, it's
That's real.
okay to like care about people in this day and age. Why are we so like? I know this is corny, but I really love her. No, I love her. Why
That's
can I
real.
not? Or I want to do good by people. So I just want to stop you there. There's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Nah, I appreciate that,
Yeah,
and I received that. So just keeping it real in that same vein, you eventually have to come with the fact that not being honest, especially when you're perceived as being honest and you're putting out the energy of being honest, that's a mind fuck for a woman. She's like, all right, I'm gonna try this whole he looks like he might be telling the truth thing. My gut's saying probably not. Damn, he was full of shit too. God, y'all niggas all the same. So eventually it just got to the point I'm like, damn, I'm tired of doing this. So I'm just like, I will be super honest, let them choose. Cause the girl just told me, yo, when y'all withhold that detail, you remove me having the ability to choose if I want to do this or not.
Yeah.
So don't just lie. Just say, yo, this is what I'm on.
Yeah.
Can you rock with that? Not,
Tell the
that's all
truth,
good.
shame the devil.
To dovetail off what Rod was saying, I've asked different groups of people what simping is, and I've gotten different answers. So how do you guys define simping?
I really want your answer on this, bro. I'm pinching this to you. Go ahead.
So I actually had a conversation with somebody about this.
Okay.
Fairly recently, and they were saying, "Oh man, if your girl says, jump, you gonna ask how high?" And I'm like, and they're like, "That's a simp." I'm like, for me again, just this weird culture that we're in. I am not afraid to love hard. Not afraid to. Love is a very vulnerable thing.
It is.
And I think people talk about simping. They're like, "Oh man, you do anything for her," and.
But I think that's like, I think people need to figure out the true definition of simping. Like, we need to call a real pimp, because being in a relationship it could never be simping. Like, simping is like some street shit, like tricking. Like
Thank
a
you.
simp and a trick is like the same thing.
You got it.
But maybe not the same as a trick. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, because
Same
tricks
to me.
got money. Maybe a simp is like a trick with no money.
Okay, so I'll lay this out and you guys tell me if you agree
But
with
I don't
that.
think it got nothing to be in a relationship. Like, if you in a relationship and somebody telling you, oh, you a simp because you know, that is a hater. That is a hating ass friend,
Well,
and they need to be cut off.
Going back to the booty club thing, the strip club thing, I remember that's where people talk about simping. I think that's another thing where it's like, you
Yeah.
don't know shorty, and you just really like, now to
That's
me it's
simping.
like, even then, I think simp is just I think that's more so going to what you said. I think
Yeah.
that's more so what
It makes
simp
sense in the
is.
strip club.
Yeah.
It makes
So-
sense in the streets, not in no relationship and no marriage. That's weird.
So what I've heard one person say simping was, if you give somebody something and money, time,
Yes.
attention going over like the threshold of normal attention, and they normally wouldn't give you attention, but they only give you attention based on how much you're tricking or doing all the extra stuff.
I mean,
That's a simp?
I can go
There's
with that.
people that's their fetish.
Fetish for
Like fin
Just
down.
treat-
Yeah,
Just
findom, like the world is huge, and if you are that type of man and you just want to spend some money for a little, conversation. I ain't gonna say you could follow me, but you could follow me, dog.
We gonna put our ads right there.
Period. No, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, depending on how you go about doing it, because if you like that type of interaction, then there's people out there that could give you that type of interaction. You know what I'm saying? On both ends, I think people just kind of need to go where they're wanted.
Okay. So have you?
Because I'll tell you, I had a recent situation where I had just got back from LA, and I remember I took shorty out, got a nice little hotel situation, and did the Thug Thizzle for some people would be
That
like,
SoCal came out heavy.
Some people would be like, oh, that's
What
something.
happened? What the fuck happened? I'm lost.
Teasy. I was like, oh.
So the hotel. So basically, go to the hotel. And some people be like, oh man, like that's simple. That's not your shorty. Like you don't need. I'm like, not
Over a hotel room?
Yeah,
Okay.
Did you get some pussy?
absolutely.
So I don't understand how
Keeping it funky.
how is that simping?
That's not simping. That
I
is-
don't know, man. That's why it's like you said. I think it needs to be because for me, it was like take that S and put a P in front of it because like it ain't chicken if you got it. I had it. I did what I like. You know what I'm saying? It all. But I think it does need to be a meeting of sorts.
Let me weigh in on that. Even though, like I said, even though I'm out the arena on
Yeah,
it.
you good.
I'm gonna tag your wife in this part.
Yes, well, I was earlier.
Unwanted attention that's not reciprocated.
That's
with the
simping.
vote, that's
Yes.
simping. A consensual situation is not simping.
We need to type that out
That's adoration.
I can-
so people know.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
If that person is not interested and you feel like giving them unwanted attention or attention and money
their mind.
to change,
Yeah.
that's simping.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's doing too much.
I concur.
Pipe down.
I concur.
And that's playing yourself because the bitch gonna take it.
That's why it's called
I'm
simping.
glad.
Or a man gonna take it. A nigga
Glad
gonna
you
take
said
it
that.
too.
I'm glad you said that.
If you
been
give a
sugar
person,
baby,
have I been a sugar baby? No, but I have been kept.
what's the difference?
I think like my experience with dealing with like men with money, it was more so like relationships or like situationships. So I haven't been like a sugar baby like on a dating website or anything like that. But I think by definition, it's like if you are my boyfriend, then you gonna take care of me. It's kind of like one of them type situations. I guess I never been in a situation to have to be a sugar baby. But looking back on it, it's like I probably.
No, my bad. Y'all do that. I got to sit low to it. Go ahead. Sorry.
But no, looking back on it, I probably like would have been because being in a relationship it take a lot of emotional stress. Like what he was talking about, like people playing games and all that type of stuff. It's like sometimes, and I think that's why women, well, I won't say all women, but a lot of women, like the city girl culture, that's kind of like why it is the way that it is. Because it's like if you're going to be manipulating me emotionally and then you want to fuck on me and then you want to do all this stuff, you want me to be driving over here and I got to watch kids on Fridays because you got to go to the trap and your baby mama drop the kids off. It just be so much stuff that women have to deal with. Where it's like, yeah, financially, you're gonna have to take care of this shit.
It's transactional. Let it be transactional.
Right. I think that when I was younger, if I would have been a little bit more real about like my needs and what I really, really want, then I would not have been played. So I don't say that
Needs?
emotional needs and financially.
What you need financially?
What I need or what I want. Because I'll say what I need, honestly, what I would want is like if a man could just come in and take care of everything my whole life, I think that would be like fire. But the only reason why I say that is because I'm very business oriented, so a lot of the money that I make, it just go back into my business. Like if I had somebody that could take care of the house, then I could actually do more like in my business.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's
I could do more of what I'm passionate about instead of having to work to make money to take care of my life.
Dope, yeah.
Right. But I think that I could have like a partner. Like if it was a nigga that made the same amount of money that I made and it was like, all right, we about to do this. But then I would need to know, like, you not on no bullshit. You ain't got no hoes around the corner. You ain't got no kids. I ain't got no kids. Like it would have to be like
You
a
date women
very
with kids? I mean, men
equally
with kids?
yoked situation. I have before. It's not like my first choice. I think you kind of have to be extraordinary and you really have to be a good father because I don't play that shit. Like I would break up with you if you stop paying child support. Like I don't.
That's a real one.
Exactly, because if you don't take care of the kids you got now, you ain't gonna take care of the kids you got in the future. You try to nut at me, I ain't going. No.
All right, so I know Sam has to get up out of here, so we're gonna get one more question up out of here. What did you learn as far as like being a Christian growing up in a Muslim school?
Man, that's a great question. You don't understand God, you don't understand Jesus until you're forced to have to explain and question how you've been taught. Like when you've been taught one way and someone invokes doubt for the first time, then it really makes you question everything, and then you start looking for those answers. You know, exactly. And so with a lot of people, when they get presented with questions, it causes them to, of course, doubt. But a lot of people can't reconcile the doubt. But for me, it just kind of made me realize two things. Not everything in life can be explained. There's an element of faith to everything. But we also got to see the God in ourselves, like a no hotep real quick, but just like you're a reflection of God.
Yeah.
Like, let's take, for example, the Trinity, like Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. My pops was just like, man has a mind, body, and soul. That's 3 dimensions. Wouldn't it make sense if God made us in the image, he has dimensions of how he can express himself? Same thing. Nothing about that is complex. So it's not really like there's 3 parts of God. It's dimensions of God. And we can perceive him in this dimension with Jesus. So I was like, dang. And that just kind of put it into my mind. And when I heard that, and when I started reading more of the Bible, I was like, this really is kind of simple. Love people, treat them right, love them like I would love you. The rest of it flows from there. It just made everything kind of just line up for me.
What's that? The 2 greatest commandments. Yeah.
That's it.
I know a little something.
That's it.
Gotcha.
So it made everything simpler for me, but it had to go dark and cloudy first.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for coming out.
Nah, man.
How far did you
I
drive
appreciate
today?
y'all. Oh man, I drove 100.
100 miles.
Yeah, I drove.
Damn.
Yeah, I drove 100 miles, and
Vaughn,
but
I'm gonna have
it's
you
all
come
good.
on. You walk around, swap space with him. Oh, you gotta go. Oh, you wanna come on? Yeah. All right. Thank you. You just exit that way, and I got you.
You gonna clap him up?
Yeah. Of course.
Great stuff, brother.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me. And it was really good meeting you.
Yes,
all. I look
nice
forward to
meeting
talking with
you.
all moving
Yes.
forward. Like I said, I write, so if I can help y'all in any